So I have about maybe 2.5 pounds of clay here, and I am throwing an opened cylinder, no floor in the bottom, because I am going to alter the shape of this piece and make a beveled oval basket. So here we go. I'm moving the first movement to set up the clay, and now I'm going to set up my first pull. I'm going to be very intentional to throw this really well, because later on when I go back with my rib to bevel, I need a real even wall to do it well and efficiently. So I'm intentional to set up my pull and make sure I have full revolutions around before I move up in order to keep that nice, even pull. Notice that when I go to set up the pull, I'm very intentional with my inside hand to push out just a little bit so I can always see where I'm working. I keep the cylinder conical shape while I'm getting the weight out of the bottom. And it's a little trickier to do that when you don't have a floor, because sometimes it'll pop up on you. But you want to get all the weight out, because this is a piece that's going to be altered on the wheel, and there will be no coming back to it to trim or get rid of weight in the bottom of the pot. It has to be done now while you're throwing it, because of the beveling technique that I'm going to do on the surface. Notice how as soon as I can get my thumb over the rim and connected with my other hand, I do that. I should be close now to my last pull, because I'm starting to feel the even thickness from the bottom all the way to the top. And when you get to that top 2 inches, 1.5 inches, you have to lighten up your pull, or the top of your pot will get over pulled and be too thin. And you don't want that, because you need a strong rim. Now with this pull, I'm really refining the shape that I want. I'm cleaning up the rim. And now I'm going to take a rib and compress against it and get rid of all the throwing rings, because those throwing rings will interfere with my attempt to make a beautiful beveled surface. So I have to remove the throwing rings on the inside and the outside of the pot. But look at how I'm taking the edge of that mud tool's smallest metal rib and putting a beautiful little beveled surface into this pot. I've had so much fun doing this. Trying to get the same exact shape and volume of each of these concave bevels, and save a little clay at the top for a folded out rim. Now's the time to get rid of the skirt and do any kind of undercut for the wire to slip up under there. But I will be adding a slab later, so I don't really want a deep undercut. I'm going to go ahead and put a little split rim in the outside edges of each of my bevels. This piece is going to go into an atmospheric kiln with wood and soda, and beautiful things are going to happen on this surface in the kiln. I usually know what kiln I'm going to put a pot in and what I'm going to do if I'm going to glaze or not glaze. At the point of making the pot, I already know what the intention is. And now I'm going to take this rim and just lay it out. I'll probably put some lug handles on this and then put a reed handle, a handmade reed handle on this basket. But first, I need to oval it, which is why I threw it without a floor. You'll notice I'm beveling the rim downward. This gives it a real strong dramatic effect with light to cast upon it, and it also gives me a big surface to attach my lugs to for my handle. A final cleanup for the rim. A little cleanup where I split the rims, just in case there's some rough edges there. Now, I'm just going to add a little water on the inside and the outside so that when I cut it with the cutting wire, it will loosen it up and make it slide easily on the bat. So I jiggled it back and forth to get water up under my flange of the foot, because I'm going to add a slab to this. Remember, there's no floor in this pot. I'll be adding a slab later. Now I'm picking the water up. It's looking pretty good. Clean it up a little bit, and when it sets up and is leather hard, I will put the slab bottom on it and make lugs for a handmade reed handle. It looks nice. This is going to go in an atmospheric kiln, and it will be beautiful. Have a look.